Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this edition of the Oxford Exxon Podcast. Hand raise, guys, whatever we're calling this thing on this Thursday night.
It's
Hopefully
both.
Hopefully the calls work here in a little bit as we had some technical difficulty last week. We weren't just hating on Bubba. I don't know what happened, but I tested a minute ago. It appeared to be functional, so we'll see what happens. Anyway. Second podcast today for the live stream people. If you're hearing this on a podcast form, Friday morning is when you'll be getting this. Ole Miss Athletics Director Keith Carter joined us on Thursday afternoon. That is already up. You can find that, as well as the full week slate of podcasts, G-Pits, Minding My Money, Soft Verbal. I saw that today as well. So you and Zach rattled on about something for a while, I assume.
We talked for 48 minutes. We talked about state flags.
Okay.
Arch Manning and Deshaun Ruffin.
Really in-depth breakdown on Arch Manning at this point.
It's
June 25th, 2020.
We did. We broke it down.
Well, as we said the other day, if the story on our message board is any indication, there will be some attention and interest as this thing moves forward.
You know, if the current environment stays the same, we might just write about him every day. I might do a segment, what Arch Manning had for lunch.
What does Arch Manning mean to the Ole Miss running backs? What does Arch Manning mean to the Ole Miss wide receivers?
Top 5 reasons why Ole Miss's wide receivers would like Arch Manning.
Can Arch Manning help with offensive tackle recruiting? Hey.
Which shade of light blue would Arch Manning look best in? A breakdown.
The Houston Oilers version, right?
Yeah, probably.
That's the one.
But we don't want to come to a conclusion yet. We might have a lot of content to fill.
Yeah. Anyone in the live stream? What are we drinking tonight? What are we doing? What's going on? Kind of give us a little feedback there. If you're hanging out with us, I'll tell you in the meantime. Brought to you every single day by the Oxford Exxon, Highway 6 West in Oxford. Lunch specials, $4.99, 2 sides of bread, 32-ounce drink. Speed Pass Plus out. You can pay right there at the pump. Don't have to worry about going in. Don't have to worry about touching the probably pretty dirty card reader at most places. Speed Pass Plus app. Use that, download it, get to know it there at the Oxford Exxon. Again, coming to you from the Clark Ford studio.
We are Clark Ford's in Amory, Mississippi, 662-257-1900's that number. Call it. Ask for Corey Clark. Tell Corey what Ford product you're looking for. He'll send you a quote within 15 minutes in business hours. Right to the bottom line. No hassle, no haggle. You get your quote. The rest is up to you. He wants to be your car guy. He wants to be your truck guy. He'll prove it to you. 662-257-1900. Guest like Keith Carter joined us on the Rafters Music and Food Hotline. Rafters on the Water is open. It's located at the Sardis Marina. Menu offers shrimp, Mississippi catfish platters, gourmet burgers, Louisiana-style po' boys. It's open Wednesday and Thursday, 3:30 to 10, Friday through Sunday, 11 to 10. A newly expanded picnic-styled dining area, signature appetizers including Zydeco shrimp, crawfish egg rolls, live music, fun cocktails including their famous house frozen margaritas. If you would rather have to-go or curbside, you can do that as well, 662-712-6162.
We got a Weller Antique in the stream. Josh says Miller Lite, furloughed sitting employee, tough times equals consumption of not great beer. You know, out of the just normal domestics, though, I do think Miller Lite's my favorite. I think if I had to pick one, that would be the one that I grabbed out of the Coors, Bud Light, Miller Lite, Triumvirate.
If we did a blind taste test, would you be able to tell the difference between Miller, Coors, Bud,
I could tell the difference on
Michelob?
Miller. Okay. I could do Miller for sure. I don't think I could do Bud or Coors. I don't think so. Bud Light and Coors Light, probably not.
Is Michelob Light still a thing? Back in the day, that was like one of my favorites.
Well, everybody's doing Michelob Ultra now, lighter calories, that kind of thing. It's not my deal, so I don't know if I could pick that one out or not. Miller Lite, though, is a little hoppier. There's a little more in that. I could get Miller Lite, I think.
Okay.
You don't think so?
I don't have to think about it. I'd have to put them in front of me and dissect them, and perhaps that's something we'll do.
Hey.
Yeah, you never know. Cross Caldwell, thank you so much for the donation there. We really appreciate it. He says, sitting on the beach.
Super Chat's the correct
Super
term.
Super Chat. Sitting on the beach, enjoying the show. Quick question, but assuming we have football, what's the best case scenario on our record? I mean, best case is probably like 8-4, something like that, I guess. It's hard to say. I mean, it's a smart-ass answer, but right now, and if you listen to the interview with Keith Carter, I think you'll agree. Right now, just give me a season. Figure it out. But I think 8-4 is probably best case if everything went well.
Are you doing that like going through your head, or are you just saying
No,
8-4 seems
well,
about
I'm just
right?
thinking, they're not going to beat Alabama. In my opinion, they're not going to beat Florida. Probably not going to beat Auburn. Probably not going to beat somebody else. I mean, they're going to lose another one. You're not going to win 8 toss-up games, for example.
Well, yeah, sure. I mean, you could easily lose to A&M. I mean,
Yeah.
Sure.
So you start doing the math in your head about when beat Baylor, when the
But yeah,
other.
I mean, off the top of your head, even beating Baylor, Florida, LSU, Alabama, Auburn, A&M, whatever. Take your pick.
I mean, if you offered Ole Miss 8-4 today, people would fall to the ground in ecstasy and take it.
Yes.
I mean,
I would too, because that means 12
Yeah.
football games were played.
I would probably start crying.
I would ask no questions.
I probably tears of joy.
I don't. It's just good.
Yeah. I'm not sure if you offered me 4 and 8 right now. I wouldn't take it.
Because again, 12 games.
12 games.
They do have a lot of defensive questions on this team. Up front.
Sure, of course. It's so hard to think about the actual football. It's so easy to think about figurative football, like just.
Well, think what we'd be doing right now. We'd be doing that stupid crap of going through the schedule and then going through this position and this position and this, and we'd be looking at betting lines for that came
Tonight
out early.
we break down Baylor. I'm like, I just want them to play Baylor. I don't really have any issues above that.
Everybody else is really worked up about it one way or the other. What did you think about the whole Leach Kiffin thing today? He's having fun.
Whatever. They like each other. They're friends. It's fine.
It was perfectly fine and tone deaf at the same time. In front of a lot of people, don't grab somebody's mask right now.
Yeah.
Everybody's a little high-strung. Can we not do that? That would be awesome.
But I think it made me like you more because I think people are losing their minds. I mean, I'm on record what I think about some of the comments from the people in Mississippi about.
Is Mike Leach an OAN viewer, you think?
Privately, probably.
Yeah, privately.
Yeah.
He's not
He
advertising.
ain't going to admit it now.
Everybody's going, hey.
If you say, Mike Leach, what do you think? He's like, Rachel Maddow is fantastic. But, yeah, probably. I think Mike Leach is a little bit of live and let live. He's probably not sitting around watching a lot of television.
He was in Key West most of the time.
Yeah, he's just chilling.
I thought Ole Miss had the second best looking mask of the all the groups. Jackson State had a really clean mask with the JSU across it. I mean, it was.
I did not break down the
You
mask.
haven't seen the pictures?
Well, I've had a busy day.
Yeah, I kind of looked at the mask. The Ole Miss masks were good. I thought Jackson State had the best mask. Just my opinion. It's the thing I did today. So
That was a face mask today, though. I mean, he clearly grabbed the mask and pulled it. That's 15 yards.
Octavius Mathers would disagree. That was not a face mask back in 2014. That was not at all a face mask. No, thank you.
Did Kiffin have on a fancy mask, or he just have a regular mask?
It was just different than the other Ole Miss issued mask because like Mike and I think Coach Yo and Boyce yesterday all had the same mask on. Kiffin's was different. It had like some sort of logo or something on it a bunch of times. Like it was almost kind of like scattered on.
Well, they had to go get him from California today, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he got dressed at the Rogue today. Had to go get a suit. And I saw that and then came in. Southern Miss had like golden bandanas or something. Like it was kind of like almost kind of bandana kind of looking thing.
I asked Carson today. I said, "You're probably going to wear a mask at school. Do you want some fancy mask?" And he was like, "No."
What's he want?
He just wants like a plain blue, plain white mask. He's like, I'm not making a mask statement.
He wouldn't wear like a thunder mask if you got him one.
So I asked him. I said, "Do you want?" He's like, "No." And I'm like, "Okay, cool."
I mean, because you've got a few options. You got 2 or 3 or 4.
Yeah, I got a few. I've got this one's reversible. It's got a little.
I've got a reversible one. Yeah.
Got little stars look to it. Kind of a cream color. Very nice.
That's not bad.
Not bad.
That was not bad.
Not bad. And I can reverse it. It's 2020. And just go solid blue, kind of a navy. Got that one.
I don't know what the fine is here. I know you can get fined if you're not wearing the mask, but Corey says there that he's in Washington, and it's $1,000 in jail time if there's no mask.
Really?
I mean,
Wow, that seems kind of serious. I go with just the plain white one, but this one falls a lot, and I've washed it.
I don't have a plain white one, actually.
It falls a lot.
Do you keep some like disposable ones just because, or you only have the?
But I probably should, since we're going to be heavy mask all fall. Apparently,
You have to wear them though, press box the whole time.
I don't think the press box is going to be open.
Somebody, let me find this. I'll look in a second. It's actually a decent topic. While I'm doing that, I mean, obviously a lot. Everybody should listen. We're not going to sit here and spoil the whole thing. But is there one or two things that stuck out about Keith that have kind of stuck on your mind the last 3 or 4 hours?
Then this is the most preventative one. Feels like
It looks like it.
but it's very uncomfortable.
Oh, really?
It's hot. Of the other ones I can handle. This is the one that if I wear it for any length of time, all I can think about is
I've got a cloth one that does not breathe very well. That I feel like after a minute I'm kind of going a little bit into it. Like it's not.
I got used to this one after a while, but it took me a while. This is the one that I would wear if I was in a room full of like really sick people, I think.
So we'll get into Keith in a second.
What was your question? What did I think of Keith?
I said, was there one or two things that have kind of stuck with you over the last 3 or 4 hours since we did the interview?
A little concerned about his thoughts on basketball. By the way, a couple thanks real quick. Super chats from our friend Jonathan Stark. Thank you very much. It's very nice of you. Appreciate it. Basketball thoughts were a little concerning. And my thought is if you are planning on doing a lot of tailgating in the Grove, it sounded like you're going to be disappointed.
Yeah, he did not say this. Again, go listen. I took from what he said, and my inference was that the Grove will be closed or highly, highly limited this fall.
Frankly, I think it would be easier if you have to highly limit it. It's just easier to close it.
There's probably some truth to that.
Mark asked, do I think Wolken, yes, you too, does his COVID is the end of human existence, in quotes, for attention to prove his moral, intellectual superiority over everybody because he hates the sporty covers or all of the above?
He doesn't hate the sporty covers. He cares more about his stances than the sporty covers.
Kind of right. I'll give you partial credit.
Okay, fair enough.
He's one of those people that lives in such a small bubble that getting the validation from the other woke sports writers fuels him. People think I'm kidding. They sit around and tell each other, God, you're courageous. No, you are courageous. No, you are courageous. You are special. The world is lucky to have you. These student athletes are lucky to have you looking out for them, Dan. Well, I just think, you guys, I just think we have to look out for them. I do. These people are using them. And on you go. I don't think Dan gives one thought to what happens if there is no college football season.
No.
I don't think he ever thinks about it.
Also, well, college football does have that segment where, as you said, they go to Indianapolis or wherever, they do all that stuff together, and you're awesome and I'm awesome, and we're the
courageous.
You're the Missouri grad and I'm the Northwestern grad, and we're gonna huck it up and we're gonna do the whole deal. Syracuse, whoever you'd like to throw in there, Columbia maybe, I don't know.
The Mizzou ones are really over the top. Thank you, Gulf Coast Reb. He says this is money to go buy some cloth masks that don't filter poots, but they filter COVID, I hear. And he has words for Dan Wolken.
For Mr. Wolken, yeah. Yeah, what's funny about the Mizzou thing is some of the ones that get on my last nerve are from there, and then some of the ones I actually like are from there too. So it's like I mean, I know you're all humans here, but it's like I can't really just hate the entire population of the graduates there. Like it would be easier. Because I was on a Drew Lock kick for a while. I made fun of Drew Lock for like a year and a half. His sister, I think, got in my Twitter one day.
Oh, really?
Sister or something? Yeah, there was a relative, maybe girlfriend. I don't know. It was a sister or girlfriend or something that was not pleased with me a couple years ago about that. Yeah. So
Avery wants to know if we have boxes. We do not have any boxes
No
to
boxes.
open tonight. The box train has died.
no helmets. Yeah. We're out right now. Where's our helmet? No, it's still in the box. It has not made its way to the.
I gotta sort things out. Still doesn't fit.
What, do you think your head shrunk in the last year? I mean, why would it fit?
I didn't know. I've been running a lot. You never know. Had my best time in 6 years today. I was pumped.
In 6 years.
Yeah.
So since 14.
Since 14.
So you've run marathons since then.
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
I was trying to think last thing on Keith before I've had a couple different things and we'll open the calls. Basketball for sure, because we know that. It's a deal where they're inside. It could get dicey.
He was pessimistic there.
I mean, the athletic departments here freaked out. Think what an athletic department's thinking at Butler, Gonzaga,
It's
Creighton,
it's the part that,
Bradley.
it's the part that all the woke journalists in sports writing aren't thinking about. In their desperate attempt to save one kid from having a cold, I'm being a jerk. I'm sorry. In their desperate attempt to save one kid from getting badly sick, they're putting a machine in motion that will impact a ton of scholarship opportunities for young people who wouldn't have those educational opportunities otherwise.
Oh, no doubt about that. I mean, those schools are the ones where I go, hey, you might really be in trouble. Like some severe stuff. Since our last podcast, Ole Miss has officially come out and said that they are going to start on time. It's August 23rd, 24th, something like that. And then they will be completely done at Thanksgiving. There'll be nothing after Thanksgiving.
Finals and everything done before Thanksgiving.
Essentially, they're losing 2 weeks off the calendar. Now, they're also going all the way through with no other breaks. It's just move.
No fall break.
No.
Yeah.
Go.
I think that's what Arkansas – I think Arkansas is planning to finish online. I'd have to ask Campbell. She's gotten some correspondence from them. They're eliminating their fall break. I know that.
I'd be curious to see also or know how many season ticket holders decided not to purchase, because I think it was a pretty good number. I know Keith said they sold 30, which was good, but I mean, we were talking about some big numbers potentially had everything gone normal.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
I mean, we were talking, hey, 40, 42, 44, 45. Because they're also the people that I get you get the refund. I get that you can push it forward. A lot of people aren't doing it because they aren't guaranteed their seat. They don't even know what a social distancing, like where you're getting pushed or what price differences be or anything else. So I don't know. That was the other thing that kind of stuck me. And just like I said, his candor. Just here's what we are. Here's where we are. Here's where we're at. Worried about some budgets. Worried about this, and we move on.
It's funny you say now. I think about it. One of the things that did stick out was for the longest time we've been told herd immunity, and he basically said that the medical people are shooting that down.
Yeah.
Now, he's talking to Mississippi medical people. And the Mississippi medical people, their attitude right now is cut your head off and run around. Just run in circles. Panic. What's his name? Dobbs? Dobbs guaranteed that in the fall the hospitals will be overrun and that if you have a car accident you won't be able to get treated.
He told Mississippi Free Press that 2 days ago. Yesterday.
Yeah.
I don't know, one or the other.
It's a hell of a comment, man.
I'm
That's a hell of a statement. That really is. That is serious. And I've gotten a lot of pushback about how can you say. I think it's incredibly irresponsible to guarantee something like that.
What worries me, I don't like guarantees because I never know what tomorrow's going to bring either way. What concerns me about what he said that I do wonder is real to some extent or real period is he seems very scared about something. And he's a guy that's been very measured this entire time. I mean, frankly, I've kind of bragged on Mississippi's response for a long time because of him, because of the way that, hey, Tate did listen to him a little bit. And, he's a very nationally respected epidemiologist or whatever their thing is. I sensed fear in him when I read the entire interview, and I thought, okay, there's been a switch flip. What has caused it?
Right.
Yeah, that was the main thing that I was kind of curious as he was talking. I had it here. This is This is from the pubs board and rivals. I'm not going to read it verbatim. Yes, we have our own message board. You're missing nothing. Neil, you've been there like the last month.
No, I've been to the pubs board in months.
Have you not?
That's not my crowd.
Not your crowd?
No. Are they panicked?
Well, it's somebody talking about what availability may be like in the fall.
Okay.
That's where I was going with this.
Okay.
Yeah, because, I mean, conferences really aren't a thing right now because of the whole pandemic or whatever, but I do sense the majority of the rivals publishers probably the Ole Miss site, the Auburn site, the Missouri site, probably not the miscongeniality amongst the convention crowd. I wouldn't assume.
Yeah, we're not particularly liked.
No, I don't think that's not. We're not getting the participation trophy. I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the guy that right now is like, so what are you guys gonna do if Trump wins? Just have a little fun. I'm like, I kind of want to tweak things now. I told Chase that from a pure journalism standpoint, from nothing but journalism, I'd love to watch Trump win just to watch the meltdown. And Chase can vouch for this. I don't care. It doesn't. I don't like either candidate. From a pure, I'd like to watch the meltdown mode. Give me that.
So reading
if we're doing a show that night,
yeah,
I would just at some point, if that were to happen, I would just go, "You talk." I'm gonna laugh.
You're just gonna sit here and
I'll just read tweets. It'll be like mean tweets, except it won't be about me.
We'll try things all night to see if we can get Hogan to respond to anything. No matter, we'll send him text after text after text.
I talked to Hogan today.
Did you? He
was on his way somewhere for a little break before he gets going.
Did you mention the topic that you and I discussed about him yesterday?
I did.
Okay.
I did. We had some fun.
Okay. So anyway, this is coming from the UCF guy in the Rivals Network. I don't even know him. I don't know what his name is. So he has a big golden knight for his avatar, so I'll assume it's UCF. He says, it's in the thing. Said he spoke with somebody in UCF's administration, and Cliff notes, camp, weekly availability type interviews, Zoom only likely, and likely home post games. Contemplate maybe doing some press conferences in a large room with media far back and asking questions with mask. TV stations are fighting the Zoom thing because of quality and different things.
Yeah.
Obviously,
I'm good with Zoom if that's what it takes. I'm fine with it.
Obviously, social distancing in a press box difficult. Says UCF is formulating a seating chart that would allow sufficient space in between. Basically, 30% of regular capacity is what they are at least looking at right now. They think field access is likely off limits to media photographers or any videographers or anything.
Yeah. I hadn't even thought about photos.
Haven't either. I bet everything runs through Josh for the most part.
I bet it does. Well, he's really good, but not everybody has a Josh.
No. Well,
all schools don't have a Josh.
No. Well, and not even that, but a teamwork element to that. I mean, Josh is very talented, but in addition to that, you can kind of get whatever you need to get. That's not typically something that would be the case. No, I'll give Ole Miss credit. That's one area where over the last 5 years, whatever time period you want to put on it, much more media friendly from a photos, from a help in that regard.
They've done a really good job with that.
Said visiting media may not be allowed.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, I would too. We'll see about Zoom and things. He says that at a conference level and a school level, they're discussing testing a couple times a week. I haven't heard that anywhere around here at all.
Of media?
No, I guess
players.
Yeah. It says nothing set in stone, obviously. The current plan for testing in regards to players would be Wednesday and Sunday. They get Wednesday results on Thursdays. They know who's safe to travel, and the Sunday results would come on Monday on who's safe to practice. I don't sense that's the case around here at all.
No, I don't think that's
Keith said there are no mile marker testing.
Yeah, which is good.
Championship games are fluid.
A lot of conferences have backed up the championship game at least a week. Here's the dirty little secret. All the little bowl games, they're not going to happen. The big bowls might happen. The little bowls are not going to happen. Look, I'll just go ahead and tell you the Birmingham Bowl's been canceled.
What's Pitt going to do?
I don't know. Good question.
Damn. How many fans Ole Miss take to a Birmingham Bowl this year? Like, not non-pandemic edition.
Oh, they would have taken 30,000.
Like 12?
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah. Not now. The other interesting thing he said was if you couldn't put 50,000 in the stands, 50% in the stands, you'd almost be better off putting no one in the stands. I thought that was interesting.
Well, it made all the sense in the world.
It did. I just never really thought about it.
I know I didn't either. I've always thought, okay, well, anything's better than nothing. And Keith's like, well, no, because, again, not to ruin the whole interview, go listen to it. There's a lot there. And you get to hear his voice do it instead of us repeating it. But you're having to pay all the expenses if there's anybody in the stands.
Yeah.
And it takes 50% to get enough recouping that you feel good about what's going on.
So you're not throwing money away.
Yeah, 50 is the good number. Anything higher, obviously good. But 0 is better than 20.
Yeah.
Especially with him telling me that he thinks as long as the games are played, TV's going to write the check.
Well, and at 0, TV might write a bigger check because everybody's going to be watching.
I bet TV fights it and says, well, you're giving me a worse product. It's going to even out. We're going to give you the same amount of money.
Yeah. This is where the NFL, I've been telling you about this. The NFL has a little secret plan to put 3 primetime games on Saturdays every week.
Okay.
Because they're gambling that the college game's going to cancel before they do. Although today, what'd you make of the game in Canton, the Hall of Fame game?
What happened?
Canceled.
Oh, it did.
Yeah, Steelers and Cowboys were supposed to play August.
That would have been the first preseason game.
Yeah, August the 6th or whatever. Canceled.
Completely.
Yeah,
shot.
Killed.
Okay, I didn't know that.
The Hall of Fame ceremony's been postponed. The jackets and the speeches and the whole deal.
Sure. A little bit of news-ish. I posted this on the board. Keith, I kind of made him refer to it. The baseball program, they've got 9 or 10 players in quarantine at this point. I don't know if somebody came out or went in the last 24 hours, but Neil had heard 10 earlier in the week. I heard 9 yesterday, and they were fairly careless in a couple situations. God, I bet Mike just railed them. Like I'm cringing thinking about it. But
can you imagine?
Oh, good. I want nothing to do with it.
Can you imagine?
Called him every name in the book.
Oh, there's new names.
From a distance.
Yeah. Socially distanced dog cussed.
That was the only thing that saved him is to stay 6 feet apart while he's...
Yeah, Mike's mask had to be replaced after that. That mask was no more.
So, Coach, like, the guy calls him and goes, so here's the deal. Here's what... Oh, Jesus. Yeah. So, they've got more than they would like. The way it's working is if you're a positive case or a potentially positive case, you're 14-day quarantine in a location of the university's choosing or in your dorm or wherever you are or whatever. And then if it's contact tracing where you've just been around it, it's a 10-day quarantine wherever you are or what your living situation is. It's a little interesting to me because a lot of schools have chosen not to bring their non-football athletes back yet. I know like LSU was going to wait. Some other schools are kind of waiting for multiple reasons. Number one, dorms are kind of scarce because the way they have to do it. And just, you're not playing yet. You can kind of wait a little bit. Instead of Ole Miss has allowed everybody to come back, trying to get them involved. I think the baseball team can actually start work in the facilities. I think it's Monday when the second summer school session starts, technically online. When it is. But anyway, if you see some baseball stuff, that's what's happening. There's 9 or 10 in quarantine, and I don't sense any issues. I don't sense any freak out, but it might be a good thing because, like I said, I got a feeling the reverberations were fierce on that one, so maybe it settles them down a little bit as they move forward. Because, look, if you're going to have 9 or 10 in quarantine, June's when you want to have it. So,
well, I think so, but we asked about...
Well, if it changes behavior... Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Let's do it that way.
Cross sent us another super chat. Says, we're just want to throw it out that Kiffin and Keith don't get near the praise they should for going to Jackson today. Took some balls and they went to bat. They did. The state contingent did. The Southern Miss contingent did. I texted back and forth with Kermit Davis a little bit today. It was something that had to be done. Yeah, but you're right. It was kudos to all of them at all of the schools for doing what they did today. It was a show of unity that needed to be showed. Bulldog Rick wants to know if I'll say Hail State. I mean, no, not in the way you want me to say it. He asked me if I'd unblock him from the Twitters.
He's paying you, though, isn't he?
Huh?
He's paying you, isn't he?
Yeah. He asked me if I'd unblock him from the Twitters. I did unblock you just then, Bulldog Rick. So you're welcome. I don't know what happened in 2015, but you were drunk. I probably was too. Here we go.
2015?
Yeah, there's no telling.
You've kept him blocked for 5 years?
Well, I mean, if I block you,
okay,
I
fair
forget that you're blocked.
You don't check the list occasionally, then pull.
Do you?
No.
I mean, I've got so many people on mute that I can't even imagine.
See, that's the thing. I mute them because they just talk to a wall and don't realize I
Yeah.
have no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
That's my favorite. Let's see. Yeah, it was a long. I had it here. It was a long list of coaches from all schools that went. It was cool.
Yeah.
Welcome to 2020. You got all this going on up here. It's just.
I did see some of the pictures when you see like Kiffin and Leach standing there and wearing masks and Kermit
Yeah, I mean, like
stalking.
seriously, like you went into a coma in like August of last year.
You're
and he
like,
said,
whoa, what?
Kiffin?
Is that Mike Leach? Is that Lane Kiffin?
What's the mask?
What
Hang
are-
on, they're in the Capitol?
Yeah, why are they wearing masks? Where are they? What happened? Why is Kermit talking?
Well, because your first thought is, who died? Like, are we at a funeral?
Yeah.
Like, what's the...
Well, wait a minute. That looks like Leach is wearing MSU stuff. And Kiffin's wearing powder blue. What in the hell? You'd wake up and go,
There's some dude out there that's been in a
Yeah.
coma
Yeah.
for 6 months.
Yeah, he wakes up and goes, wait, hold up. You know what, Brian? Brian Stott says we'll be hand-raised guys during all the games this year. Yeah, probably. I mean, look.
Potentially during the game.
Yeah. I mean, here's the deal. We talked about this today because we sometimes look at each other and go, what do we do if? Yeah, we're going to have to be creative. We're going to have to be different. We're not, luckily for us, I don't think Chase ever thought, there might be a pandemic next year. We ought to practice this. I never thought that. Maybe he did. If he did, congratulations. But we kind of got ahead a little bit last year by accident. So, yeah, we'll do different stuff. We're not going to have a traditional football season. That's out. That's over. I mean,
No,
I mean,
Well, again, fans may not be in the stands. We might all be sitting here together. I mean,
Well, my point is we're not going to have
No.
Tuesdays where we hang out at the building and wait for interviews. We're not going to have Wednesdays where we hang out at the building and wait for the head coach to come talk about an update.
No.
That's done for at least a year. So we're going to have to do a lot of things different. Yeah, sure.
I sense actual game days being, we turn the thing on, we find a way for you to make us your second screen, and we talk and watch it in real time and
And then
have some wings and a beer and hang out.
We take a break or we pay somebody to do the Zoom and transcribe the quotes, and we read the quotes to you as we get them, and we talk about it. I don't know. I just know it's not going to look. I've said this for a while, and I think I'm going to end up being right. It's not going to look like what you're used to, what we're used to.
No.
It's not going to sound like what you're used to. It's not going to feel like what you're used to. It's just going to be different, and we're going to have to adjust. And the one thing I'll give us is we kind of started adjusting to covering things differently a few years ago. It's one of the reasons that we've kind of survived the pandemic as much as we have. We mailbags and the food for thought, 10 weekend thoughts, and
it's one of the reasons why. I mean, it's credit to you guys. It's one of the reasons why, while I'm worried, I don't freak out as much. I mean, Neil, think about this. I mean, podcast, even on the podcast, the goofy crap we talk about every day, it's not completely sports dependent. I mean, can you imagine the different level of anxiety you would have if it was 2012 right now, or 2011, where there's really no podcast? It's you being a hardcore reporter.
No, I can't. I
reporter day after day after day after day.
I would be too anxious. No, I don't even like to think about it. No,
it's.
I
you wake up every day and go, "Is it over?"
You'd go out of business.
Yeah.
You want to take some calls?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, because we're not going super late tonight. Just FYI to everybody.
Yeah, we already told them we're going to go till about 9:15.
Yeah, I know.
It's been a day.
I'm not. I was tired like an hour ago. I feel a little better right now.
Well, then we can go longer than 9:15.
No, we can't.
It's up to you.
I'm good.
Okay.
Oh. Let's hope this works this time.
The last time we talked to Bubba, we were worried about his dog. Senior was struggling.
Oh, that's right. How's the dog this week?
Hey boys, how y'all doing?
Hey, Bubba.
He's senior sitting right here. He's doing all right. Dr.
good.
Horton took care of him.
Well, when I heard your
He's,
voice, I was afraid you were going to break bad news to us. I'm glad Senior's okay.
No, he's got the cone of shame on his head though, because he's feeling a little down and out.
Yeah.
But but other than that, everything's been all right. I can't complain. Just sitting here drinking some Miller Lite.
So could you tell the difference in Miller Lite and Bud Light and Coors Light? Could you pick all three out if we put them blind in front of you?
Depends on how drunk I was. But yeah, starting out I could.
Yeah, completely
I can tell you that
sober.
right now.
Hey, Bubba, does Michelob make Michelob Light anymore? I know they make Michelob Ultra, which is like water with a little food coloring, but do they make Michelob Light?
I think they got the High Life, but I don't see it very often.
There's a Michelob Light.
Okay. Miller High Life is not a bad beer.
I can't tell you the last time I had a High Life.
It's not a bad beer. The Coors Banquet beer is not a bad beer.
But who's like picking that out?
Okay, so I'm going to be honest here.
Go ahead.
And I don't have them in my refrigerator right now, but this is typically the time of the year that I will keep a 6-pack of those around.
Will you really?
For one reason.
After yard work.
Post yard work, there's nothing like one of those beers. It's a mental thing. I'm admitting it. It's just kind of, we all have our little, deals. Would I want it on a random Tuesday? No, but like on a day like today where I did a couple yards, yeah, absolutely.
You're singing the gospel, Neil. That's the truth. I ain't ever heard nothing.
Any good repo this week?
I did. Me and my friend Matt went over and got us a 4-wheeler that had a repo. This boy was drunk, and he came out. It was funny. He said, "Hold on," and he came back out and he said there was 2 of them, and he shot the 4-wheeler. He said, "Y'all can take it now." Well, we looked at it, and he shot his 4-wheeler that wasn't getting repoed. So we really laughed. We called the law. Law went out there, and the sheriff laughed at him, called him he was mad, and he was mad. Anyway, you can't fix stupid. So anyway, just want y'all's boys. I'll say this to everyone on here. My view of the flag, because
okay.
A lot of my friends have asked me.
Sure.
The South lost the Civil War. Been over a long time. Got to get over it. Let's just win football games and move forward. And that's just my 2 cents. If we're still fighting, it'll be one thing. But I mean, it's like an old girlfriend. You just got to think of it in the past, and that's the way it's supposed to be. But anyway, I know some people disagree with me, but that's just me.
Thanks, Bubba. That was great.
Want you boys to have a nice night, Neil, and thank you guys for everything you do. And we'll talk to y'all later. Maybe we can do a Miller Lite tasting soon.
Sounds good.
That sounds.
Yeah,
it actually sounds like a great idea. We'll do that soon, I hope.
Enjoyed it, bud. Now the night feels like finally got started. We've talked to Bubba, gotten a dog update.
Anything new on the vote tonight? I haven't looked. I've been busy.
They've said they'll for sure stay through the weekend and try to get it done. That was the last thing that I saw. This is from 2018. I've got the top 26 selling beers in America.
Okay.
Just quickly run through these.
I'm gonna guess Bud Light's number 1.
Well, we can do it that way.
Okay. We don't have to do the Neil guesses. I just was
you
guessing.
can if you want.
No, it's all good. That's probably more interesting.
Do you want to go 1 to 26 or 26 to 1?
26 to 1.
You want to go 26 to 1?
26 to 1.
All right. This is from 2018.
We need to put the number up, by the way, so people can call in a minute.
Sorry. Yeah.
That's okay. No, you're good. You've got a lot on your plate there.
I usually have Photoshop open, and I don't have Photoshop open at the moment, but I'll get it. So hold on. Throw it at me.
They're asking, do you think they'll switch to the state flag seal or have a vote on the design? That's a good question. They seem to be headed towards this seal thing with the "In God We Trust," which
I'm just so terrified of having another option because it makes more people likely to say no. I just want the current one out. I don't we'll get it out of here and then whatever.
I'm almost scared to do this because everybody's in a good mood, and I'm asking just in general, this is not a personal thing. You know me pretty well, so you know it's not personal. Is there any part of you that goes, are we really trading one problem for another and it's two different things, but
There probably is a separation of church and state issue.
yeah.
But nowhere near the level of your current issue.
Right. No, I agree with that.
It,
I just didn't know whether you were trading a problem for a problem.
I mean, probably not ideal, but if that's what it takes, whatever. I mean, we were, I hate to use his name, whatever. I was texting a mutual friend of ours today, and like he said, we were talking about the flag or whatever, and it said, just get this current one out of here. Just because you need to get divorced doesn't mean you have to get remarried immediately. Just get this one done, and then we'll move on and we'll figure out the rest. Because, I mean, it's what happened somewhat in 01, even though it's nowhere near the same climate and same everything else. People hated the other option, so they voted to keep the current flag. So you don't just get this one out, and then we'll go from there. So Guinness 26.
Okay,
it's fine.
it's fine.
Milwaukee's Best Ice 25.
No, I'd rather have a Guinness.
You good there?
Yeah, no.
They did 1.2 million barrels shipped in 17.
It's frightening.
Well, they lost 9.7% market share from 16 to 18.
Not
so
surprised.
it was starting to go down a little bit. 24 Corona Light.
Okay, I'd hate to be named Corona right now.
Well, early on that was a problem for them.
I still won't drink it. I won't.
23 Ice House.
Is that still a thing?
In 2018, it was a thing.
Wow.
In Texas, an Ice House is an old-style neighborhood tavern, at least partially open to the outside. However, the Ice House lager, brewed in Molson Coors Brewing, has nothing to do with Texas. The name indicates an ice beer. In fact, the first one produced in America was in 1993.
Okay.
22 Still Reserve. I've never heard of it.
Never had it.
0.8% market share. Let's see. It's high alcohol content. It was around 5%. Oh, sorry, 8%, 8.1%. So it actually is considered a malt liquor.
Okay.
21 Coors Banquet
Okay.
at 21.
Solid.
Undervalued actually at 21 probably.
Agreed.
I don't know that we can get all the way down to 1 without
Okay. I have a new leader at undervalued.
20 Dos Equis.
Okay. Which one, the green or the gold?
I don't have.
Does it say lager or?
It just says Dos Equis.
Okay.
It says da 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 da. Yeah, I got nothing.
Okay.
It says a Pilsner style beer. That's all I got.
Okay.
19 Blue Moon. It's a very popular beer. I'm
It's
not surprised
fine.
at all. It's at 19.
It's good on a draft with an orange.
18 Yingling Lager.
Okay.
You go with a little heavier, the little heavier Yingling.
It's fine.
It's a step up from the pure domestics.
Yeah.
Like I'd rather have a Yingling Lager than a Budweiser.
Yeah, I think so.
17 Natural Ice.
No.
You good? It is. Let's see.
Robert says Steel Reserve is the OG high percenter in my neck of the woods.
Yeah, I don't know Steel Reserve.
I don't either.
16 PBR. Pabst Blue Ribbon.
You know, Taylor Zarzer swears by PBR.
Does he really?
Swears by it.
It's fine. I mean, I remember back in the day, at a 2-stick, you could get the $1 PBRs on trivia night. That's my one of my college memories is the trivia night 2-stick PBRs.
I've always found that Taylor had great taste, so I'm going to say that's a little low. PBR has a certain nostalgia too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
15 Bud Ice.
I just didn't know they were still making those.
Though beer critics have called Bud Ice lacking in personality, this ice-brewed sibling of Bud Light, America's best-selling beer, giveaway number 1, has shipped an increasing amount of barrels each year since 2014. It's low in calories for a non-light beer with 123 per 12-ounce bottle.
Okay.
Natural Ice has 130. 14 Stella.
Okay. I mean,
You used to be a Stella guy.
and I still like it fine. I don't go get it anymore, but if that's what's available at the bar, I'm fine with it.
13 Miller High Life.
Okay.
12 Keystone Light.
No.
That's college cheap beer. That's what they're picking.
Right.
That's why it's sitting here.
But
at
it's
12.
not good.
Well, God, though. I mean, it's only 101 calories, though.
That's true.
Heineken 11.
Guinness.
Guinness or Heineken?
I'd rather have a Guinness,
Okay.
but I don't have a problem with Heineken.
You don't?
I mean, if I'm at a bar and someone says, "Hey, all we have is Heineken. Okay. I'm fine. It's not what I would pick, but it's fine. Does that make sense?
Sure. 10, plain old Bush.
No.
Comes in right behind number 9, Bush Light.
No, and no light.
Number 8, the king of college beers, Natural Light at 8.
Yeah, and it's just water.
3% market share, 6.5 million barrels in 2017. 95 calories.
Yeah,
Because there's not much there.
There's not. It's water.
Number 7 surprised me. Modelo Especial.
Yeah, I mean it's a very popular beer.
That surprised me.
You
I
see
didn't
it
have that.
everywhere. I'm not surprised. It's fine.
Number 6, Michelob Ultra. It's a lot higher now. It's continued to rise. I'll guarantee that's a top 5 beer in today's.
It's just water.
It might even be number 2 or number 3.
It's just water.
I'm just telling you. Number 5, Corona Extra.
Yeah.
Is not a top 5 beer today.
No, it's not. Do this in a year, and it's not even in the top 25.
Number 4, Miller Lite.
Okay.
Number 3, Budweiser.
Budweiser. So number 2 is going to be Coors Light, and number 1 is Bud Light.
Bud Light, it's still, I'm sure, I'd actually like to have an updated thing. 15.4% market share in 2018.
When was the last time you had a Bud Light? Golf course somewhere?
Yeah, at some point in the last 2 years. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. A lot of golfers have moved to the Trulies and the Seltzers now.
Yeah,
you're not seeing as much beer.
I told you this earlier, so I'm gonna do this publicly. I am, after the way the PGA handled some of their Corona testing. They had some positives. Instead of panicking, they said, "Hey, we're going to be rational." I am now a golf fan.
Neal is in search of a golfer.
I'm going to find a couple of golf guys to cheer for because I think that makes sports more fun to have a team, if you will. I'm going to pick a team of a couple, 3 guys and cheer for them. And Carson's already getting lessons, and I might get some lessons. I might start playing golf just in support of the way they behaved over the weekend.
Somebody's asking on the stream, is this market share in volume or dollars? I'm pretty sure it's in volume. I think we're talking barrel market share, but I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah.
That was the way I interpreted that. But my point being, they were at 15.4%. Number 2 is at 7.7%.
Wow.
So they were more than double anybody else.
I can't remember the last time I had a Bud Light. I've had some Coors Lights. I've had Miller Lite. I told you I like the Coors Banquet beer. I don't know. I don't know.
What's allowed Bud Light to be that beer?
Well, I'm guessing they had a lot of success with the Bud Bowl.
You think that was that type of push?
I would think that was a really successful campaign.
Yeah, I remember it. Yeah.
And it's Bud, but it's light.
Now, I really can't tell you the last time I had a Budweiser.
I haven't had one of those since probably grad school.
Oh, really? That long?
I would have a Budweiser after work sometimes. We had a tap, and sometimes the boss would come in and she would say, "If you guys will log out, so I don't have to pay labor, you can pour a pitcher while you clean."
Done.
And so we'd pour a pitcher of Bud.
So you would trade an hour of work price for a pitcher of beer.
Well, because we get a couple pitchers. It was just, you were tired. You didn't care. You're like, whatever. It's going to be more fun to clean having a couple of beers than it will be to clean without having a couple of beers. And so I'll log out and save myself $4.25.
Yeah, I seriously cannot remember the last Budweiser. Like, no clue. I couldn't even begin to tell you the last time. I don't know.
Avery says watermelon White Claw is the GOAT.
I've never had the watermelon one.
So the females in my family, they do what's it called, Bon Vive, and they do the Smirnoff.
Okay.
They don't really do the White Claws.
Or the Truly.
They do some Truly.
And a lot of people have jumped on the Truly lemonade now because you got the normal Trulies that are like White Claws, and then you've got the Trulies that are lemonade mixed with mango or black cherry or whatever.
I've truly never, pardon the pun, never had one. I see them have them all the time, and I just like, Laura drinks one that's like red, white, and blue. It's like, I don't know.
Okay.
She just says, "Will you go get me one of my drinks?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." I've never even tasted one. Have you even tasted one?
What?
One of the seltzer drinks.
Yeah. I mean, I've had the White Claw lime is not bad. The black cherry's okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I've had. I mean, not often or nothing I'm gonna grab per se, but yeah, sure, they're fine. I do get why they're probably a golf course favorite if you're hot. Now, because you can't get one too sweet, it's got to be something with a little bit of whatever. But yeah, I'll buy that. You want to pay some bills for a minute?
Oh yeah, sure. Thank you, Webb. Very kind. Webb Moore is always looking out for us. Another super chat. Really appreciate that.
Do you have a question this week?
He didn't. He just wanted to make sure that we felt loved.
Well, we always appreciate that. Always feel loved. The podcast brought to you in part by Community Mortgage, Oxford, Memphis, Soto County, and Chattanooga. Underwriting and processing is done in Memphis. So you're getting local underwriting. Understands your market. Leader in condo financing, the float down option, and more. 662-234-2704 or JLOWE at communitymtg.com.
320 East Pearl Street in Jackson. They also specialize in on-site large event catering for up to 250 people, off-site full catering services, especially beverage catering. So if you're planning a big party, I guess get all your mass together and then call Sarah Black at 601-398-0151 for your catering needs and knock that off your worry list. Let Iron Horse Grill make your event one that is memorable forever. We're also brought to you by Dead Soxy. Dead Soxy hopes everyone had an enjoyable Father's Day weekend. If you didn't get your feet's favorite brand of sock, don't miss your opportunity to own some of the limited edition styles available in limited quantities. Go to deadsoxy.com. Check out the limited edition Father's Day styles. Styles are available individually or in bundles. And Dead Soxy wants you to know how much they appreciate you, and they want you to check out that limited edition Father's Day collection before they're gone. And as always, stay Soxy. We're also brought to you by Pinnacle Trust. We published a Mind on My Money yesterday. That's brought to you by Pinnacle Trust based in Madison, Mississippi. They've got clients in more than 20 states, advisors in multiple states as well. What they do is they provide detailed, specialized investment management, financial planning, retirement planning for individuals and businesses, and much more. At Pinnacle Trust, investing is treated like a commodity. Decisions are made using objective information and research, not emotions. So regardless of your level of wealth, they'll sit down with you, listen to your goals, study your expenses, put forth a comprehensive, detailed financial and retirement plan built just for you. It's pintrust.com. We're also brought to you by John Edwards, Regency Travel Incorporated in Memphis. If you've been thinking about the golf trip with the guys, anniversary trip, you just want to get away after all the quarantine stuff, you can do that. John Edwards will take care of you. All you got to do is send him a budget, send him some parameters, and he'll give you options that you don't have to, you won't come up with on your own, and you don't have to live in or near Memphis to take advantage of his services. 901-494-3387 or send him an email, j.edwards@regencytravel.net. First-time clients save $50 off their first book trip just by telling John you heard about Regency Travel on the podcast. Also brought to you by Grenada Nissan. If you're in the market for a Nissan vehicle, Grenada Nissan's the place to go. They've got a complete selection of new and previously owned Nissan vehicles, great lease deals as well. Go in, tell Gene and Sandy that you heard about Grenada Nissan on the podcast. You'll get Rebel savings on top of the already great deals at Grenada Nissan. It's GrenadaNissanUSA.com.
Let's see where we at. Lines are open if anybody would like to chat. Oh, did we get some buffering issues?
Did we? I don't know.
Yeah, it looks like we got a little problem.
Oh.
Although I've got good numbers. It'll come back.
Carson is not on the Netflix, but Campbell is on a Zoom call with the University of Arkansas Coyotes that may have jumped into the stream. We all right?
I think we're okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, my numbers are not terrible. They're okay.
Someone say something in the chat, make us feel better. Just anything.
Literally anything.
Tell Chase you like his hat.
It's fine. It's a rooster.
It is a rooster. It looks like a Tottenham Hotspur hat.
Does it?
It does, but it's not.
It's the best trophy in golf. Absolutely, bar none, period.
The rooster?
Yeah, the Sanderson Farms trophy.
I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah, it's by far the best one. What do you want to talk about?
Anything.
Neil's handicap is golf.
Yeah.
That is Neil's
My handicap is that, yes, I am handicapped on the course.
That is his.
I'm going to get better, though. I'm going to get better.
You really are determined, aren't you?
No, they won me over. I told you this. They won me over.
He was very happy with Jay Monahan's handling of the situation.
Their approach is the right one, and I'm going to applaud. I'm going to reward them for it. Not that my rewarding them means anything to them. It doesn't, and it shouldn't. But cool.
Dave,
I'm going to pick 3 or 4 players. I'm going to listen to one of your podcasts. I don't want 10 of them. Tell me the best one.
You want one podcast.
Tell me the best one. I'll listen to it. I'll put it in and I'll learn a little bit more about golf. Carson's getting lessons. I'm going to go get some lessons. He's going to play. I'm going to play. And we're going to reward golf for their rational approach. I'll lose a bunch of balls and have to pay for them.
We still got 15 from your last time. You can have those. So
Okay.
Good start.
Good start. That'll get me through a round.
Frankly, you just want to go to the range, though.
Yeah. I just I do.
You do like banging balls around.
I do like hitting at the range. Because when you hit a good one, you're like, ooh, that was good.
You had a couple good ones on the course that day. It was a couple of the drives were actually, serviceable, like decent.
Yeah. I'm
like golf decent.
I'm athletic enough to pull it off.
Short game is just abysmal.
Well,
any chipping or pitching or anything.
But like Carson's lessons, that was the first thing they did was the short game.
That's work
just
back
kind of
from the
work
hole.
back, right?
Yeah.
Well, I've never worked back. I've never worked.
Well, we've always had like a week, and it's okay. If you can't hit the ball off the tee, we have no chance anywhere else. So let's try to do that, and then we'll deal with anything else.
Yeah. It's all good. I'm pro golf right now, man. You think I'm kidding? I'm totally in. In much the same way that I'm supporting the English Premier League because they're doing this the right way.
Okay. We still have $1 PBR apparently at Lost Pizza. I'm seeing that in the thread.
Oh yeah, they do have that. God, it's been a long time since I've been there. Because I used to go there. Carson would have soccer. I'd drop him off. I'd go work. But then the pandemic kicked in, and
you still haven't been inside a restaurant?
No.
I haven't either.
Have you not?
No.
No shit. Really?
Mm-mm. I've eaten outside at 2 different places. That's it. Yeah. No inside restaurants yet.
What are you worried about? No judge. You're worried about getting it?
Well, yeah. I just to me, it's the absolute. Other than maybe like an airplane or something, I think it's probably the unsafest place because of. By definition, as you're eating, you're spitting and doing all these different things. You've got the extra levels of not just pickup, but more people touching food from that standpoint. Yeah, just there's so many more factors to that than any other way that that worries me.
I like to cook at home anyway. Laura got me a sous vide for Father's Day, so I'm looking forward to that.
And
I don't know that.
I thought I would miss it more than I do. Now, there are a couple places, couple things that I miss, but it has not overwhelmed me as much as I thought it would have. Oh, wow, I'm so excited to go back and do this or that or whatever. I've gotten a lot of takeout, done a lot of curbside. Yeah, that's not something that's...
Michael said he went to Obie's. His wife's anxiety was terrible. If you were going to be anxious, it's not worth doing. It's one of the reasons that I think you could open up the stadiums, and I think they would selectively. I think
social distance themselves.
I think they would naturally social distance themselves.
Do you really?
I do. There would be people that would say, "I don't think I want to do this."
Mentally, how have you kind of progressed, or how have you been through this whole thing? Because I feel like. I've gone in waves. I'll not to stay on the topic. Golf has been huge because there's some normalcy to it. I can get outside. There's a competitive level to it as well. There's just it would give me some 4 hours of normalcy, the ability to turn my brain off a little bit. I think I would be in worse shape without that because it's gone in waves. I'll have days where it's like, because you just feel like everything's paused. Like you don't feel like you can move forward with anything, and that's that's one of the things I've really struggled with is I feel like there's so many different ways where you're just helpful from a planning standpoint or from a, hey, tomorrow's any different than today, because it's not.
I've been okay. I had a bad morning this morning for a little while. I kind of got angry at it. And I said to Laura, what do we do if there's no season? And to her credit, she kept saying, you can't control that. You just got to do the best you can. That's what I worry about. I worry about no season. I worry about the kids. I mean, Carson got invited, like a lot of kids. It wasn't like a special invitation, but he got invited to work out with the basketball coaches at OMS.
Sure.
And so he's gone this week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. They've gone from 10 a.m. to 11:15 a.m. twice at the high school and today at the middle school. And Chasey's just been so happy. He gets back in the car, and you can tell all he did was he went to a 1 hour and 15-minute basketball practice, okay? But he got to see his friends. He got to play basketball. He got to be a 13-year-old boy. And he's never been anything more than a 13-year-old boy. He's never had a chance to be a 30-year-old yet.
Sure.
So he can't relate to that. You know what I mean? He got to be a 13-year-old boy, and it made him happy. That's the stuff that I sweat. I told you this. I sweat the stuff with my kids, which so inherently I sweat your kids too. But let's be honest, we all worry about our kids. I want my kids to be able to have normal. Because Caroline's looked forward to this year for so long to be a captain, right, of the Chargerettes. I want her to be able to have a football season and be able to go dance at halftime. Does it mean a whole lot to a lot of people? No, of course not. Does it mean something to her? It means everything to her. I want her to have that. I want that stuff. I worry about a high school football season, not for me, not for money, not for the town, but for the kids who've wanted to be seniors and have a high school football season and have their pictures up. When you walk into the stadium and stuff and you see the corny little pictures that are everywhere. I'm sure they have them at Hatley and Amory and every other place. They have them at Oxford too. I want those kids to be able to have their stupid picture up on the chain link fence for that season.
Yeah, sure.
I do. I genuinely want that for those kids, and I don't know any of those damn kids. But I do. I want that. That's what I want. That's what I miss. That's what I worry about. I want Campbell to be able to go to Fayetteville and be on the other side of Rush. Like we got an email. We saw it. Caroline forwarded it to us as an email from Mississippi State about their rush.
Okay.
Parents aren't allowed at bid day this year.
That sucks.
And
that does suck.
Like Campbell was like, well, at least, the parents can come to Starkville and stuff. And she was right. But I told her, I said, but like Campbell was saying, her bid day last year's a blur, And I was like, yeah, for you it is, but it wasn't for your mom. For Laura, that was a really special day. She got to be there and she got to see Campbell happy. And I told Campbell, I said, when you don't realize this because you don't have kids yet, because you can't know at 19 what it's like to be 40 something and to have a child. I said, but we sent you off to college and we were worried about it. We were nervous. Like you were over here one of those nights in the rush week and we were nervous,
Oh, yeah, yeah. It was the night we ate with Burton.
Yeah, we were nervous.
Yeah.
And I said, that was a gift for Laura to be able to go to Fayetteville that day and to see you happy and to see that you'd already made friends and to see that you got the sorority you wanted and everything was good. And she got in the car the next day and she came home and there was no, I'm leaving my baby behind. It was, no, my baby's happy.
Yeah.
That's a gift. And I said, so all those parents at Mississippi State won't get that. Not to that extent. And that sucks.
Well, I was talking to a freshman baseball player's parent yesterday, and we're talking about that, the entire senior year was stopped in March or whenever it was. There was no end of the baseball season. There was no graduation. His school was having a prom in the summer or something. It's not the same. Like,
right,
you know what I mean?
right.
And the point, though, was that they get to work out and get back in the facility next week and do some different things safely. and just how even that little bit of normalcy they're so excited about because they get to go compete. They get to go do it. You know, it's the start of, hey, this next step, and hey, I'm trying to get a spot, and I'm trying to do this, and it's normal. Anything to be normal, and then and that counted.
It's funny you say that because when I picked up Carson today, the 8th grade football team was getting ready to work out.
Yeah.
And they had them distanced, and they all had on their mask. But you could tell just by eyes, you know what I mean, body language, that those kids were happy to be there. I watched one little boy go down. I say little boy, he's an 8th grader. He'd probably kick my ass. But he went down the walkway. They were lined up outside of the middle school gym against the wall, and he was fist bumping everybody. And you could tell those kids were just happy to see each other, happy to have some normalcy. We That's why I get so defensive about shutting the schools down. I just think it's inherently wrong to do this to young people. I do. It pisses me off.
Couple of different questions in the thread. I'm asked how I liked TCC. That's Tupelo Country Club. I think it's for an everyday golf course, I think it's one of the best ones in North Mississippi. It doesn't beat you up. You have a good time. You get done, and you're in a good mood. You didn't even want to play again. Because I have one criticism around here, it's the CCO. Sometimes you can kind of beat you up a little bit, and you get done. You're like,
of course, sucks.
It beat Neal up pretty good. So no, TCC is actually one of my favorite layouts in the area. I like it a lot.
Chase Pruitt says, by the way, thank you for the super chat. It's really cool of you. He says, y'all need to start a series. Neal played Braden in golf. I mean, if you want to call it that, that's Braden would probably laugh at that description, but fair enough. He says he can take on other Ole Miss greats in other sports. So,
I mean, I told Neal I would let some basketball player kick my tail at the free throw line or something. I mean, we're look, right now we're game with anything. I mean, I mean, honestly,
I would play Marshall Henderson in horse. It wouldn't.
Sure.
The game wouldn't last very long, but
we could find somebody to do that.
I think Nick Williams would do it.
100%.
Yeah.
I mean, we can probably get Matt to pick one of his soccer players to kick balls at our head.
Yeah, I would have to ask him to please tell it to be cool.
Just do a shootout?
Well, I don't think you realize how hard those people kick.
Well, I remember how we had a hard time with us kicking it at one another a few years ago. So, yeah, that'd be a little different deal.
I mean, those people kick the ball really hard.
Like I would have no chance of returning a serve from a tennis player.
No.
Have no shot.
No shot.
I mean, I'm fine to embarrass myself, but I'd have zero chance to stand in a batter's box at any point. I mean, I would let a softball player embarrass me.
Yeah, that would be fun, actually.
Yeah.
I did that in grad school. There was a girl that I went to grad school with who had played on the ULM softball team, and she talked some trash, and I was like, I think I could hit you. She's like, you wouldn't be able to touch it.
And you couldn't touch it.
And I was like, no, I'll touch it. No, I did touch it.
You touched it.
I didn't hit it hard with any authority, but I did make contact consistently.
Okay.
Which pissed her off. But no, that was when I was 23. I don't know that I could do it today.
I would be really, I mean, honestly, this is going to sound weak.
No, you wouldn't. We would never touch Doug Nikhazy. No.
And I don't even want to step in the box.
No, because I'd be afraid he'd hit me. I would trust one of the girls before I trusted him.
Why?
Because guys
you think he's wilder than they are?
No, I think he might intentionally hit you.
Oh.
That would have to be one of the rules. You're not going to hit me.
Well, yeah, that's one of the rules.
Yeah, don't do something stupid.
Well, you're a former catcher. Maybe we just get you catch, Doug.
Yeah, I don't think.
Could you catch it?
I don't think so. I mean, I could catch his fastball right down the middle, his BP fastball. But if he
started really cutting stuff.
No, I'm not catching that. I'm just getting eaten up.
They're bouncing off your knees and arms and wrists.
That was. I mean, I've told stories. I mean, I would get fingers cut up and wrists cut. You know, you get all bruised, and I was never good enough to do that.
We can work a couple of these out, though. That's true. You could just play Keith and horse. He'd be happy to do it with you.
We could play Keith and horse.
Yeah.
He'd destroy me.
I mean, you saw that video.
At the free throw line?
Yeah.
We were there last year. They were at Butler?
Is that what it was?
Somewhere.
He hit like 10 in a row.
No, they were at Wichita State.
That's
he was
where
just like knocking shots down. You're like, whoa.
Yeah. So that is what it's different, huh?
Yeah.
That's.
So you haven't played in how long? And no.
we'd have no shot. Yeah, we can work some of this out if they're willing to do this with us, but I don't know. Yeah, that's yeah. It's a good question. Kind of wrapping up the other topic. Fast forward to 2022. Are people more grateful, or do they completely forget 2020 by 2022? Is this actually something that's lasting?
Yes.
How long did 9/11 stay in the consciousness?
Years. And this is more powerful than that. That was one day.
Mm-hmm. It affects everybody. That didn't. No offense.
Yeah, no.
Lives are completely spliced here.
No, this is absolutely changes the way we think moving forward.
Yeah,
Appreciate life, absolutely.
If Mike's willing to give me somebody, yeah, I'll pitch to a baseball player and let them hit the thing 450 feet. That's fine. I don't care.
Yeah, sure.
As long as I have a screen.
Yeah, no line drives back up the middle.
No, your pop-ups, guys. We're hitting.
Yeah. No, none of that.
No.
Yeah, sure, I'd love. I mean, that would be fun to see just how far I'd get shelled.
Yeah, I mean, I'll loop curveballs on there and let them hit them. It's no big deal.
Because I don't throw hard enough to hurt anybody.
That actually might be fun. I'll throw that at 5. See what he says. He's gonna look at me like I'm crazy, but somebody be willing to do it. Get some former player in town. I'm sure we could work this out.
Yeah. Probably do something with Romero. Some sort of a passing competition with Romero. He probably doesn't exactly have his tightest spiral anymore.
I still want to get him on and talk about all his cooking. Because he has run through so many big green egg stuff in the last 3 or 4 months.
Yeah.
He texted me about something else yesterday, and I was like, I've been whatever. And he's like, yeah, dude, quarantine. Just cooking everything.
Yeah, he's locked up.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be a fun show.
Yeah, can do that. Yeah, I don't. Mike would have to be in a good mood to let me do it, but he might. We'll see.
Yeah.
Just depends on the day.
I mean, if you told Mike he could have a season,
he might let me do whatever I want.
He might let you sign up for anything. I'm not to be Debbie Downer here. That's my fear. My fear is that football gets shut down so early that everything else gets shut down. Football drives the engine. Is the engine that drives the car, and if you don't have the engine, the car doesn't move. No matter how pretty the car might be.
Well, I mean, Keith said that today. You're not playing soccer and volleyball unless football is playing.
Yeah, just kind of going full circle. When someone says, "What's the record?" Any record, anything that evens up to 12.
Playing the season is a win.
Yeah, 6-6 right now. Would you take it? Yes, absolutely. Because of what it means. It means 12 games got played.
Yeah, it's impossible to overstate how important it is to get 12 football games in this fall.
Yeah.
From any level of budget that you can imagine.
Yeah, of course.
Because what Keith was saying was, yes, we have complete and utter issues, and it goes worst case, you're trying to figure out what sports you're cutting. That's what he was saying.
Yeah. He called it the nuclear option, and that's what it is, but at some point you have no choice. 662-259-0991 is the number. You can call us. We're here for you for a little while.
That's not your radio voice. It probably had
694-1055, 694-1055, star 105 on your Singular Wireless.
Was it Singular?
Yeah.
Is that still a thing?
I don't know.
Like is Richard be able to get like star or whatever and call? I don't know.
I don't know.
That.
I wouldn't think.
Huh. Look at
Sometimes you just have to get the calls.
You pulled one in there, didn't you?
Yeah.
That's kind of impressive.
Caller, welcome into the show. How are you?
What's going on, Neil? This is Leif.
Hey, Leif. What's up, man?
Cleaning up dog shit, you know.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah.
What kind of dog?
Well, he is a rescue, but everybody thinks he's a Rhodesian Ridgeback.
You're gonna have to help me.
I don't know. It's like he's
he's definitely some sort of hunting dog. But Rhodesian Ridgebacks, I guess the purebred ones, they call them that because on their spine the hair goes the opposite way. And anyway, I don't know. He's a good dog. That's all I know. He's good with my kids, and I usually walk him about 3 miles in the morning, 3 miles at night, and he's helped me lose some of my fat ass. So I can't.
There's nothing
complain
like.
too
I mean,
much.
in all seriousness, there's nothing like walking. I know.
Oh yeah.
I know so many people who have lost a lot of weight just walking.
Yeah. Well, I got a funny story. My little girl, she's 6 years old, and she knows all about COVID-19. They taught her all about germs and social distancing and whatnot. And so our next door neighbor is it's a young lady. She's probably in her mid-20s. And she started dating this guy, real nice guy, during the quarantine. And one day, my daughter, she said, "Daddy, there's a man over there at Miss Chelsea's house." And I said, "It's okay. It's a boyfriend." She said, "They're not wearing masks. They're probably spreading germs." And I was like, "Baby girl, you don't even want to know what they're probably spreading."
No doubt.
But anyway, yeah, I'm just out walking the dog. Love the live shows. I always like the little community we have. And so, yeah, I really enjoy these Thursday nights when get a little time to myself and hang out with people that I know. And even if we're talking about stupid shit like flags and quarantines and 50% capacities and whatnot. But,
are you looking
yeah,
are you looking forward to the NBA season resuming?
I am. And I actually have a friend that he lives in Boston. He works for a computer programming company. He told me a month ago, he's like, "Yeah, we just signed a deal with the NBA. We're back to work after that they're going to be using internally." So I was like, "Sweet." I was like, "Y'all done anything with the NFL or MLB?" He's like, "Of course not." So, but yeah, I'm very excited about the NBA. I'm worried about what's going to happen. Dude, calm down. Sorry. There's another dog. He's getting a little excited. But yeah, I'm a little worried about what's going to happen if, what sort of procedures are going to happen if, someone gets sick in the 12-man roster.
Yeah.
I
think they'll have expanded rosters. I'm with you. I'm knowing what I know about the NBA and how vigilant they'll be about things. They're the one league that I really have my fingers crossed for, because I think if they go nice and clean, there's a path for everyone else. If you told me the NBA gets shut down after 2 weeks,
we have trouble.
I think I'm really depressed, and it has nothing to do with the NBA. It would just be like, oh God, this is not going to work, because Silver is such a – I know he did the China thing and people won't let that go, and I completely understand it, but he's such a good communicator with his organizations, and those owners and players trust him so well that if they can't make it work, I don't know that anybody can. I think they're going to make it work, though.
Well, of all the professional leagues, the NBA, the owners and the players have the best relationship, and even that's sometimes strained. But
sure,
they, besides the Knicks owner, I mean, everybody else seems like they're pretty cool people. But yeah, I'm hopeful. But yeah, you're right. If it gets shut down pretty quick, it's going to be like something hit the earth, because we're all going to know it's going to be bad.
Yeah,
and I know here, Kentucky, they just released a back to school agenda, and they've already said that kids are going to have to wear masks, and
Yeah,
try to be social distance.
There's a superintendent in Kentucky that I've started following on Twitter. I actually sent him a message, and he responded. I just congratulated him on being sane, and he responded with "Thank you for the nice words," or whatever. But he's been like a beacon of rational thought. He's talked about, hey, we're going to bring them back, and we're going to be smart, and we're not going to make them wear a mask in the class. We're going to make them wear a mask in the hallway. And he was talking about the like cleaning materials. He said, some of these cleaning materials are so concentrated and strong that the materials are going to make the kids sick. So we got to be smart about that too. And I was like, hey, can you clone yourself and bring a few of you to Mississippi? So I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, I've been saying this for a long time. Like this particular baseball season, when it starts, everybody's like, well, are you for the Cubs? Well, yeah, I'm for the Cubs, but this one season, I'm for everybody. Be healthy. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's get it. I mean, if I'm cheering for all NBA teams, all the MLS teams. We got to have success. Otherwise, this thing gets squirrely fast.
Yeah, I'll be if you guaranteed me right now that we had a World Series with the Padres and the Orioles. Mark me down.
Absolutely.
Okay, I don't care.
Absolutely, no doubt, absolutely, no question. Hey, thanks for the call, Leif. Appreciate you.
All right, see ya. Bye.
Yeah, I don't care who makes what. This is the one year that if you told me the Cardinals win the World Series, I'm like, so we had a World Series?
Sounds good. Great.
Yeah.
Put an asterisk.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be like,
well,
a few years from now, I'll be like, oh, that one didn't count. But like now, I'll be like, good.
Who are we talking to?
Hey, this is Dan in Jackson.
Hey, Dan.
Hey, guys. I just want to commend you guys on your pod throughout all this. And Neil, I couldn't agree with you more on all your points. I thought what happened today at the state capitol was fascinating.
Were you there?
No, I
Okay.
was not there.
Okay.
I was actually having lunch not far away, but, it's kind of a talk. What's so fascinating is Lane Kiffin apparently had to go to the road to get a suit.
Yeah, he was
before
he was in California last night. They flew him in because the weather was going to get bad.
Yeah, I tell you, and look, I think we're doing the right thing. I mean, I love how the former governor is coming out taking credit like, dude, what did you do the past 8 years? But anyway, we won't go there. And look, I'm a total conservative and a Republican. There's no doubt about it. But it's a joke at this point.
I'm with you completely, yeah.
But I did want to say, dude, I'm with you. I'm for all the teams. I want to see this season. I am fascinated by Mike Leach. In Jackson, the talk today is you couldn't have a bigger fish out of water. Just his actions today, the way he looks. And I'm a Mike Leach fan. I have nothing against the guy at all. I'm just fascinated to see how this plays out.
Sure.
I mean, Lane Kiffin, too.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
We've been cheated, man. I mean, we were going to get Mike Leach and Lane Kiffin going through a spring and recruiting and a summer and media days and all the crazy stuff, and then a whole season of that where the media was going to be totally focused on them. It was going to be great for both of them, and for both schools it was going to be absolutely fascinating. And we were going to watch this and go, does Mike Leach fit at Mississippi State? Because on the surface he does not. And we were going to look at Lane Kiffin and go, hey, how's this going to work? Because this guy, I mean, I'm going to keep it real here. I'm probably going to piss some people off, but I'm being honest. I mean, Lane Kiffin leaves Oxford every chance he gets. And it was going to be interesting to see how does this go and what does this look like? And instead we've got all this COVID stuff and, it's just going to be different.
Oh, man. Well, obviously it's a 50-50 split down here in Jackson, State and Ole Miss, and it's talk and everything. But I'll tell you what, it is the state contingent in the metro area. They are, you might as well hand in the national championship trophy. They're convinced that this guy is going to immediately change it, and it blows my mind because I think it looks like it has. And look, Lane Kiffin might be a train wreck. I don't know, but it looks like it just has train wreck written all over it.
Yeah, I kind of think so too. I don't think it works, but for both Kiffin and Leach, you have to put the judgment off at least a year. I mean, you can't judge
Oh yeah,
You
no
can't
doubt.
judge
No,
either one of those guys on what happens this year. I mean, they didn't get a chance to practice. They
Well-
didn't get a chance to recruit. They don't get a chance to know their players. I mean, like Kiffin was going to have this huge recruiting push in the spring. That didn't happen. The NCAA just extended the dead period through August, and look, it's going to get extended through November at a minimum. I mean, who knows? I mean, so you have to completely push the timetables back on both of these guys at least one full year.
Well, and look, the talk around today was just the antics for Leach at the Capitol. I mean, I don't know if the guy takes anything serious. I think that's just his personality. But he just standing up. It's just fascinating.
You know what it reminded me of, Dan?
Yeah.
Remember when you were a kid and there was a girl you were trying to impress, but you didn't know how to impress the girl, and so you would do like dumb stuff with other guys in an attempt to get her attention?
Yes. Yeah.
And it didn't work.
Yeah.
But you didn't realize until you were much older that that didn't work. It felt like that today. Like he was trying to get it. He was trying to impress, but he didn't know how.
Agree. And when you're in Lubbock, nobody cares. And look, a lot of people, around here, the joke, especially Ole Miss, Mississippi State is. It's the SEC though. I mean, these teams are all in the spotlight compared to Washington State or Texas Tech.
Sure.
And that's the fascinating part to me, is just to see how his personality plays out, and with that fan base. Because look, I live with him every day. I know how it is. And the same way as Lane Kiffin too. I mean, like you said, he's not in Oxford much. He's going to Boca or California with his kids.
Sure.
And it is going to be different, but that's why I hope we have a season, because it's going to be fascinating. So I just appreciate all you guys working. The interview with Keith Carter, how refreshing is that to hear an athletic director? I mean,
it was great.
Very honest.
Yeah. I mean, I
agree.
I wanted to drink straight tequila about halfway through it, but yeah, it was very
well,
refreshing.
I don't think it was as bad. I went in and I listened to the first of the pod saying hang up now. I didn't think it was as bad. I thought it was just honest. I mean, it is what it is. I mean,
well, the one thing I'll say, the one thing I'll say is that if we had done that interview 3 weeks ago, it would have been a lot more optimistic. And if we do that same interview 3 weeks from now, it might be a lot more optimistic then. In this snapshot in time, and that's all it is. It's June the 25th at 9:11 p.m. Central Daylight Time. At this particular snapshot in time, it's kind of, boy, nobody feels great about it. But a month from now, we might feel super about it. Who knows?
Yeah, exactly. All right, guys, have a good one. I'm heading up there tomorrow. So
thank you.
Getting away for the weekend. See you guys.
Be safe.
Somebody asked earlier what kind of microphones we're using. They are Heil PR40s. Is the microphone that those are.
They're good mics.
Yeah, they're good.
Yeah.
No real issue. Any errors that we have are operator errors. I'm almost sure
for sure.
So they were expensive.
Yeah, they weren't cheap.
Jay picked them out. Was that right? We just get
Jay
what Jay
had them. Yeah, I said, "What microphone do you have?" And he told me, and so I ordered it. Okay. And then you saw mine, and you're like, "Oh, I better get one of those too."
And here we are. Yeah, it's fine. So, whatever. Yeah. So a lot of podcasts. We've got Zach's had some recruiting up. Obviously, Ole Miss with the.
Probably need to talk about a few of our sponsors real quick.
Yeah, sure.
We're brought to you by Grenada Nissan, GrenadaNissanUSA.com. We're also brought to you by the Oxford University Bank, OUB, locally owned and operated right here in Oxford. When you deposit money at OUB, that money and the vast majority of the bank's profits go right back into the Oxford community. They offer you Kasasa. It's the absolute best cash checking account. And with Kasasa, you get 2.5% interest on your balances up to $50,000 and ATM fees nationwide refunded. We're also brought to you by Bluff City Advisory Group. They're dedicated to building the future you desire. Founded in 2019, their team is comprised of established and seasoned financial experts who came together to serve individuals and families of their beloved hometown. You can get in touch with them at 901-365-3447 or email Ben, B-E-N, at bluffcityadvisory.com. Brought to you by Whitney McNutt of Tommy Morgan Incorporated Realtors, serving you for all your real estate needs in Oxford and Tupelo. She sells condos, land, commercial, and residential family homes. You can reach Whitney at 662-567-2573 or 662-842-3844. And we're brought to you by the law firm of Bain, Moss, and Bowen, PLLC, located in historic downtown Corinth. Their firm practices a wider range of law, from DUI defense to car wrecks to representing government entities. They are the only firm in Mississippi that is made up of a sitting state legislator, a former assistant district attorney, and a former circuit court judge. Their experience is unmatched in that regard, and you can get in touch with them at 662-287-1620.
Podcast is brought to you by G&M Pharmacy and Tyson Drugs. Both stores are still open for regular business hours. Tyson utilizing a walk-up window, and G&M offering curbside service, dedicated free local delivery, and able to deliver same day as well. You can find information out on their Facebook pages and more. 662-236-2222. Podcast also brought to you by In-House Interior Design. 662-681-6241 is the number. You can send them a text. You can give them a call, and Nikki will take care of whatever it is from a design standpoint at your home, including things to help equity, to give new clients some discounts and deals and gifts as well, and to hook you up with dorm room assignments, as we hope are definitely something that will be happening in the near future. We're all hoping for that. So,
amen.
Yeah, 662-681-6241 is the number there. So, yeah, a lot of stuff. rebelgrove.com. Obviously, if you're listening to the podcast now, you'll hear the one with Keith as well when you choose that one. For just our normal subscribers, I think Neil will probably use a little of it tomorrow as well as we finish out the week. So
yeah.
Some stuff going up along those lines, and then we'll stay locked in, whether it be state flag stuff, monument stuff, actual sports. We'll be with you for whatever comes. We appreciate it tonight. A lot of you guys hanging out with us, had a good time, and as always, we're back on next Thursday to do another one of these, and we'll pick you back up with podcast on Monday. So take care. Have a good night. Talk to you soon.